corners, dishonest from marijuana and coronas. The bone and the mamas in Daytona on our way to Jonas. We be back. PEEDI CRAKK, songwriter, performer, entertainer. I can't explain what happened to my persona. I was shy like my mama, now I'm flying in Valona, getting high, smoking tie, sipping my tie. Only if I knew where I'm going, life too short. Like this kid I knew out in Oakland, and he too large, about to pick a new sport. Rapping took a new course, not the same shit I used to do back in the schoolyard. Now I'm in the loop, I can move out and do more. Talking to my boo, told her I think I'ma shoot for it. Just do what you do, boy, you know I'ma root for you, yeah. They be hating, but I'm loving how you move forward. Sitting in my room, drinking brew, blowing Newports right into this loop. About to put my suit and shoes on. Can't forget my top hat. Now I'm feeling like crack. Looking in the mirror, smiling, but that boy don't smile back.
In the end, it's all a memory to me. A bad one that sticks with me, but prepares me for the future. Pedro Luis Zayas, known as PEEDI CRAKK or Petey, born September 25th, 1977. Today's feature is one of my favorite rap personalities in hip-hop and an artist that had a real shot at being one of the biggest stars on one of the most popular labels of all time in Roc-A-Fella Records. It's rare you see an artist that has a sound original to them and also the charisma mixed with timing, mixed with the opportunity to immediately cross paths and link with some of the best artists that ever lived and go from street corner selling dime bags to MTV video countdowns and $1 million video shoots. PEEDI CRAKK was affiliated with a group called State Property, who at their height were poised to possibly be their own Roc-A-Fella if everything went as planned behind another rare talent already on his way in Beanie Sigel. In the early 2000s, Roc-A-Fella was the label to aspire to be on as they collected East Coast talent and ran hip-hop for the time they were together. They had artists going platinum during that time like it was nothing, led by Jay-Z, who played a key role in PEEDI's musical journey almost to the top. Back then, it may have been difficult to see the trajectory of Jay-Z's career and what a relationship with him could mean today, and PEEDI CRAKK had all the opportunity in the world to build one. What I liked most about PEEDI CRAKK though, musically, was the same thing I liked about Ol' Dirty Bastard. They just had it. They both had an energy to them that made you interested in the rest of their story. Also because PEEDI CRAKK could actually rap. Yes, he made songs like Flipside, which was a little more relaxed as far as bars, but he still had songs as recent as 2018 that showed you he was chosen to be on the top rap label in the game for a reason. How many artists you know can say without an album out, signed less than a year prior, and featured on one hit song can appear on a Jay-Z album, his only double album effort of his career, and follow up to his classic and my favorite Jay-Z album of all time, The Blueprint? PEEDI CRAKK was supposed to be, or at least had the opportunity to become a huge star in the early 2000s. Instead, he, like many casualties of the music business, is on the outside looking in to what could have been a special career. Here's how that happened. What stunted PEEDI CRAKK's growth? Let's talk about it. It's your boy JC, Stunted Growth Music. Let's get it, man. Take a minute to like, subscribe, and comment on who I should do next. PEEDI CRAKK is a Puerto Rican American rap artist from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania that always knew he wanted to be a rapper. At an early age, he would go to rap shows that his mom would take him to since 10 years old because she just knew how much he loved rap music. Growing up a Biggie and Ol' Dirty Bastard fan, PEEDI developed an interesting mix of the two as far as what he wanted to sound like. He met fellow rapper and label mate Freeway in 3rd grade, and the two instantly became friends. They started a group and would cut school to make music together. Eventually, Freeway would be signed to Roc-A-Fella, leaving PEEDI feeling left out, but also motivated that he could get a deal as a rapper as well. He'd finally get his chance mid-20s after years praying for the opportunity. He met Oskino from State Property, who did a song with him that made its way to Dame Dash. While home in Philly, still trying to get on, he received a call to quickly find his way to Miami because Roc-A-Fella were there recording and showed interest in the song he made with Oskino. Within 5 hours of being in Miami, 2001, Dame offered to sign him on the spot at a studio, and just like that, PEEDI CRAKK was on. Stunt number 1, the Roc-A-Fella breakup. Freshly signed to the situation of his dreams, Petey hit the ground running, being featured on a song with Freeway for his now gold album, Philadelphia Freeway. He was finally in a place he could do shows off the popularity of the song and provide for himself and family doing what he loved. In what seemed overnight and much like a dream, PEEDI CRAKK was now in the big leagues, flying jets across the country to watch boxing matches and record with the biggest rapper in the game at the time, Jay-Z. But right in the middle of that dream, he was woken up to the news that Jay-Z and Dame Dash, founders of Roc-A-Fella Records, along with Kareem Biggs, were planning to dissolve their business relationship and break up the label. Every artist on Roc-A-Fella at the time had a life-changing choice to make, which side to choose. Dame Dash, who had plans to start his own label, and Jay-Z, who, in an important business move, became president of Def Jam, the label he and partners all agreed to sell to. Now, Jay-Z had control of it all as El Presidente. The reason I say this was a stunt in Petey's growth was because an artist like PEEDI CRAKK needed a stable, homegrown, ran by relatable people like Roc-A-Fella was. There may have been other black labels at the time, but none of them were from where Petey was from, understood the trials and tribulations of a guy like PEEDI CRAKK, and ran by a guy in Dame Dash who actually cared about his artists, no matter what you may have heard about him. Petey wasn't the stand-on-your-own rapper at the time, so when that happened, it's like he free-falled, like a lot of Roc-A-Fella artists, and never landed. He chose to stay with Jay-Z and Def Jam in a move that disappointed State Property, who chose to go with Dame. PEEDI CRAKK would never release an album under Jay-Z and Def Jam, even dissing Jay-Z, entertaining a fan-made name for Petey's new album called Camel Face Hunting Season, leading to Jay-Z calling Petey a psycho. When stability broke in Roc-A-Fella, PEEDI CRAKK chose all the wrong ways to deal with it. Stunt number 2, didn't fully understand opportunity. What happens a lot in life is you can pray for opportunity until you're in tears, and guess what? You'll get that opportunity at some point. But most aren't ready for it, and it passes them by and on to another person who can understand, grab, and nurture that opportunity. I don't think PEEDI CRAKK is a psycho, but I do think he was still immature at the time, and everything for him happened so fast that he couldn't see the opportunity he had, even after the Roc-A-Fella breakup. Jay-Z still signed you after the guy that brought you in left and gave you an extended budget to complete your album, and it still didn't work. After not seeing direction or movement in PEEDI CRAKK's music, Jay-Z decided to only release his music to DJs to see how they felt about it. But when they didn't react in a certain way, he decided to shelve Petey's album. CRAKK then started releasing diss tracks aimed at Jay-Z, one in particular that I liked called Sweet Dreams. It was part of his Free CRAKK campaign that drove a line between he and Jay-Z, one that grew into a wall and him being freed from his Def Jam contract in 2008. In that span, he was also locked up for a firearm, leading to Jay-Z telling him that he, quote, dropped the ball, and he did. Stunt number 3, no backing. And finally, what really held PEEDI CRAKK back was that he burned so many important bridges back in those days when you needed a cosign that it would be hard for any artist to bounce back. Especially one like Petey, who needed to be led instead of being his own boss in the game at the time. He chose Jay over Dame, even though Dame signed him and wanted him back, although according to Petey, he lowballed him, which is why he didn't sign. He also crossed Jay with everything Jay tried to do for him as a solo artist on Def Jam after the breakup. For an East Coast rapper burning those affiliations, CRAKK couldn't bounce back and find another major situation. He'd signed with Amalgam Digital, an internet-based label, but still didn't release an album with them either. Over the years, all we have of PEEDI CRAKK are mixtapes and features back in his rock days. not how his career was expected to go. Without backing, immaturity, and a poor work ethic, PEEDI CRAKK did indeed drop the ball. All in all, we can all make mistakes at that age in that situation, and it's unfortunate PEEDI CRAKK made those because with his heritage, he had the chance to possibly be the biggest Hispanic rapper in the game. At one point, he had him, just like Jay-Z said, but for these reasons, his growth was stunted. It's your boy JC, Stunted Growth Music. Like, subscribe, let me know in the comments who I should do next. I'm out.